what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. Obes, the up dog, and we got the Richie fella back in studio. Fuck, you look good sitting there with the DraftKings and Jaeger behind you. It looks nice behind you.
Feels good.
Yeah, it was nice with the black. Hey, yeah, it pairs in with the salt and pepper beard. It's nice.
Appreciate it. Feels good to be back.
How you like the Bay Club living the last couple of days? Could you? I know you're a Scottsdale desert dog, but you like that Bay Club living or what?
That's not too bad, buddy. Looking at the yachts and the ocean and watching you swim in the pool, nothing.
He saw me in there. They're up.
I know. I shot him a message early. I was like, hey, I don't know what you're doing. I'm going to go chip and maybe a little lift. And he's like, fuck, just getting to the gym up, dog.
Oh, yeah.
So he's up and at it, eh? Missin Curfew, bunch of pros when they're on the road.
I looked out. He's just smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Smooth. You had flippers. Yeah. I didn't see the flippers.
Oh, yeah. The flippers keep you like that, eh? You know what the flippers, you start going.
You're looking good, though.
Thanks, buddy. I've been doing it for, probably almost 4 years now. You wouldn't have been singing that if you...
Well, I saw you swim back in the day.
Yeah. Like when I first started swimming at Big Canyon, there's... And the thing about the Bay Club pool is it's all shallow for, safety purposes. But the Big Canyon pool, there's a deep end there. And when I first started swimming, I was, 300 and whatever I was, 18 pounds at the time. And I'm like, if I cramp up here in this deep end, who's coming to get me? Like, there's a bunch of old members working out at Big Canyon, and then maybe Brick could maybe come in and get me, right?
Yeah,
but other than
he's a strong swimmer.
He's a strong swimmer. But other than that, like, if the big fella goes down the deep end here, it could be fucking sayonara, bottom of the pool.
So we had to keep you out of the deep end. Get some water wings on the deep end.
Early on, you should have kept me out of the deep end. But now I don't swim in the ocean. I'm scared of sharks, but I think I could even handle that probably. Like, I think I could survive a little bit if I had to.
All I know is swimming to me could be like running a marathon. It's fucking hard.
It is hard.
It is very, very hard. It's a mind fuck. But like Obes just said, I don't use the flippers. So I do swim ass and shaft.
That's how and the flippers are a game changer. Steve Gabriel, shout out to Gabe. He's the one I'm like, fuck, I can't stay straight. He's like, give these flippers a try.
Do you throw like a headset on or anything? Listen to some tunes?
No, I when I first started doing it, I tried to find stuff to listen to music, and then honestly, for me, Rich, it was just a mental it was like great for me. I just get in there and think, and so no, I don't. I just get in there and fucking think about Missin Curfew or whatever it is, and get out of there and ready to rock.
Say it a little
bit. Are you counting? Are you counting like laps in your?
Well, I used to have an Apple Watch.
Ends?
I used to have an Apple Watch, but she went down and out.
I
did something to her. I turned her off, and I can't turn her back on. China, I can't get her turned back on. So now I count them. Now I
count them, right?
Yeah, now I count them. Which I'm too cheap to go buy another Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone's got any cheaper watches. Like,
got my Apple Watch on today. I wore it at yoga this morning, and I got 600 calories in there.
I went in there for a pair of AirPods last week. Fuck, $300 for AirPod Pros. What's an Apple Watch nowadays?
Fuck, you're
probably the same.
Right.
No, more an hour. All right.
More than that, probably 1,000.
Well, I bet you she's $1,000. Kyle, what do we got for an Apple Watch nowadays?
It's pulling it up for us.
Especially with the tariffs coming, they're going to be about fucking
Ultra.
They're going to be $1,000.
600. Look at that.
$399.
Wow, goofy.
Oh fuck, they're giving them away.
Fuck, Holmes, you can get that, eh?
I don't know. Let me see what's Smarket doing today. That's not all they are. So you tell me AirPods? Oh, here we go.
Well, that's the Ultra.
Yeah, let's go to the fucking
a big boy. Yeah,
let's go to the Rolls Royce of Apple Watches, National League Apple Watch.
Yeah, she looks like she's like around 800 for National League.
Throw tax in there. Now you're at a G note.
Do they have a golf?
Yeah, they do.
They got the golf app, right? That you can see the yardage.
Yeah.
I always lose my gun, so.
Oh, I didn't know about the yardage, but I guess they'll keep your steps either way if you're walking. There you go, 1,400.
You don't need that one, do you?
The Hermes.
For the Hermes Ultra, too.
I don't know if you need that.
I don't need the big boy, do I? But yeah, I count them now. And I don't think I fuck it up too much, but it's nice to get in there and get moved around. But when I text you, he's like, I just woke up. I said, first of all, rest is a weapon. You got to listen to your body, right? The body says, got to sleep a little bit more. You sleep a little bit more.
Well, there's not many chances where you don't have your kids pawing at you or making it to go to school. So I'm like, I'll sleep in a little bit. Even though I didn't really sleep in, it was just nice to lay in bed for a little bit.
Yeah, so when we did this for we're going to talk about the Big Brothers, but I'm like, Rich, you want to come in and tee it up, for Todd Pickup? We need an NHL team. get you in the studio. I said, sure, I can do that. A couple days, right? I said, listen, though, it's going to be after the Balboa, which we're going to talk about. I'm not going to have much, he's like, oh, it's just nice to have a couple days to relax. Don't worry about it. I'll be all right, right? I'm not looking to go to Hollywood with you or anything after the member guest. He's like, don't worry about that. And I was tired last night.
You were tired.
But it is nice having you in town. I think we should do this, like put a pencil, once a month or whatever. Just get you in for the Tuesday, Wednesday golf. And
speaking my language right now. Totally.
You're going to run that by Jess, eh? Hey, Jess, if you're listening, is that all right? Richie, we're going to get up with this, bro.
It's in your contract, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, once a month, bring you in Tuesday, go back Thursday. I think that's doable.
Yeah.
Come in. We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Figure something out. Well, Richie, it's great to have you, fella.
Absolutely.
Listen up, dog. Balboa recap. We had our member guest. It's a marathon, isn't it?
It is.
A damn marathon.
But I was proud of you guys. You and Joffrey Lupul, my friend, you guys stepped up to the plate. You played some great golf.
Yeah, so
we sharing?
We did it. Yeah, no, I'm going to share. And Luke's played great. We'll get into that. Started on a Thursday, right? So we came in the studio Thursday morning, recorded, and went to the course, had some lunch, got ready to go, and for whatever reason, when they announced my name, I got a little bit nervous. It was just my buddies and Pang on the fucking first tee, nobody watching. Put the tee in, and if I didn't fucking top my 5-wood 7 yards,
no, you didn't.
I swear to God, I was like, sit, because there's a pond there. I'm like, sit. I'm like, roll the. So then I gotta go, Panger. What's the rule on that? Like, where can I? What do I do now? He's like, well, you can either drop it there or just re-tee it. So I put the 5-wood away. I said, give me the 4-iron. Jumped the 4-iron up the right side. Anyways, made 6, and Loops almost hit his out of bounds. So we got off to a scratchy start.
This is on 1.
We got off to a scratchy start. We doubled 1. Loops made a 5 for 4 on 2. We bogeyed 3. I 3-putted. I think we might have bogeyed 4, par 5, par 6, and then we got to 7, and I made a birdie. I made a 2, and then Loops made a 3 for 2 on 8, and the booze started kicking, and away we went, and we shot 10 under. And we were getting 18 shots, so we were getting some pops. We were getting some pops,
but that's great. And it's great golf. And Loops, if I hadn't seen a guy grind so much down the stretch for a golf tournament as Loops did, Scotty Scheffler doesn't practice that much.
We was getting his practice and paid off.
It was Wednesday afternoon over at Big Canyon on the range. Had a little snack, probably hydrate himself, get back out there on the putting green. Like he was taking this thing serious to the point where guys are like, "Fuck, Loops has been here all day."
Yeah, no, he was spending more time in the 2 weeks leading up to the Balboa. He was at Big Canyon more than I was.
Yeah,
he played the Friday Sunday game with him. I practiced around with me, practicing there. He was there, fucking
paid up.
It showed.
No.
He brought it.
And he's
an all-star game is what
he's tournament tough too. He plays in a lot of these. He plays in member guests, and he plays in all the members, and he plays in the club championship net. And he's a lot better in these tournaments. I'm not tournament tough still. Like the last day, we had a 3-shot lead heading into the last round, and I just flat out scraped it around there. Like I didn't even hit one out. I didn't even hit one out till 18 for the 4-iron. But I just scraped it around. Like I just scraped it. It was fucking awful shot 90.
Long going to bring you back, though? Is it going to bring you back? This is our
Listen, it's too long. If we want to talk about it, it's too long. It should be 2 days. It just should be 2 days. That's all I got for you. I don't know. I'm going to probably play the first one with Billy Quinn, the first one back in the new course. But I wouldn't put me in for every year. No, it's too much.
It's a lot. And shout out to my partner, Mike Close. He builds a hell of a house. Built my dream home. Great partner to have. Always.
Built my dream.
What's his last name? House?
Close.
So he said his name.
Built my dream house. Then I started having kids, and I had to stop fucking.
It was dreamy for 3 years while I had it.
It was buttery.
He was a late addition and a hell of a partner. I remember at Newport Beach Country Club that we played at yesterday. Great guy. Brings the energy. Brought over the tequila. We had a great time, but we slashed it on the last day. Big slash.
That happens.
You played in the Balboa with him?
I played in the Balboa.
Yeah. We kind of got excited about the, seeing each other, and we took her deep the first night when we had the early tee time, and we're getting to the tee, and Richardson's puking in the parking lot. They're like, "Obi, you're up first, Banger." He's like, "Your group's." I'm like, "Hey, I got
one sec here. One sec.
Go ahead, boys. Just kick the tee. You guys go ahead here." Richie's. I think he forgot his glove. In there. And then we get the round. I'm like, well, the boys, where was he? He's like, puking in the parking lot. He's like, you let me out home. So I let him out. And he goes, pukes in the parking lot. And Then you scrapped around pretty good. Once you took the driver out of your hand, you were good to go. You're like, oh, she's a 4-iron track. Why didn't you tell me she's a 4-iron track?
I was definitely hurt, and I haven't been back since. But
well, yeah, I did invite you. You couldn't make it. I went to Loops, right? I thought,
No, it was right. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good food.
Loops gets lots of shots too. It's nice. I got to collect around Big Canyon. A lot of people in Big Canyon right now wants the money. I've had some people reaching out for my Venmo.
that's always nice.
Yeah, that's always nice because usually they're looking for me, right? They're counting me up. So,
by the way, I did stop in there today, chipping, and they're like, Mr. Upshaw, you have an envelope for some money that you won. And I'm like, there's no chance I won money, right? So I go in there, and I happen to see a couple envelopes with your name on it, and the totals next to it. So really, got a nice little.
I got one in my blocker for $40.
No, but you got some from the club. Like I saw probably 3-4 envelopes.
From the members, you mean? From the guys I beat, or
no? From the club for the money that you put in. Like I bet you got your flight low net. I bet you got, or second low. There's a bunch in there for you.
Okay, so stop by there.
Stop by.
After
you can afford that Apple Watch.
Yeah,
right to Big Canyon, right to Apple, right to Apple.
Or before you go to Vegas, it's probably a nice little treat for you.
Throw it on red.
Couple hands, eh? Couple hands. hit me. But anyways, everyone at Big Canyon, honestly, it was a well-run tournament, except for the last day. So Loops, he's all fired up, right? And I'm a little hung. I got in one on the Friday night. We went to a restaurant. And then I went to Rothschild, shout out to my boy Frankie, then back to my house, and Mac Miller woke up and kind of looked at us like, fucking serious? And I was like, member guest, She's like, Lupul's not even here. I'm like, it's still the member guest, still the member guest. And I woke up hurting, boys, like really hurting. I got in the pool, had a steamer, little hot tub, stretched it out. I was starting to calm. I was like, I feel pretty good. And Loops is like, let's get over there right now. This is about 11:30. Our tee time's at 1:24. I'm like, it's too early. He's like, I already got G-Man on the way. I'm picking you up. So we get there at noon, and we show up, and they're 25 minutes behind. So now we got an hour and 50 minutes to our tee time, and with nothing to do, right? Like how much can you warm up? And I couldn't sit down because if I sat down, I'm like, I'm gonna seize up. So I'm saying I'm making excuses here, boys.
Blaming Loops a little bit.
No, I'm not blaming Loops. I'm blaming Loops a little bit, yes, because he wanted to get there, but he didn't know about the delay.
Yeah.
I can just see how these guys that wait around, like Rory, for example, at Augusta, I can see on a very minimal scale, obviously, but how you wait around, it's like it wears on you a little bit.
But also, I think you just start getting your head a little bit. And you start thinking about this first tee, or you start thinking of shots. So that's I don't know, but I hate waiting around for anything. You just want to get out there and shut your brain off and play.
Yeah,
Yeah, second bus guy. Just get there, exactly. Sit there, stretch a bit, coffee.
I have no time to
take your stick.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that's why I was the second bus guy.
Yeah,
not to think about the guys you were trying to slow down out there. But great weekend. Thanks to everybody at Big Canyon who ran it. It was a well-run tournament, except for the last day, 25 minutes late, but we'll let that slide. And I got some other suggestions actually here. There should be a cut on the last day. So if you slash it, you're out. That way, there's not 400 teams teeing off on Sunday. There's a cut. You're out. And believe me, I've been on the other side of it. I would have gave my left nut for a cut. Like, you're out. You guys sucked. You're out of the tournament. First, how do you feel about that?
No, I love it. Yeah. Do you still get free drinks at the clubhouse? But you're
yeah, you can come hang around. There's a little putting competition for you.
I don't get why you guys play your own ball. I think it just that slows it down too.
Add them up.
Yeah, that's a lot on amateur golfers. Let's be honest.
It was a lot.
Like after your third day,
and we had to putt everything out. We had a spotter. Shout out to John Hardy, good guy. Thank God. Could have got somebody, but still he watched us putt everything out, and we literally putted everything out all day. It was really taxing. You get appreciation for it. It's a different game than just playing your Friday, hit and giggle, as Tiger would say, pick it up. That's good. Yep. I learned a lesson. There you go. But I had her going on the Saturday. I'll tell you what. I had her going on the Saturday, boys. I wish you could have saw her. Anyways, continue with our golf here in a little intro. Shout out to Todd Pickup. Picky, absolute beauty. Does a lot for Big Brothers, Big Sisters community here in Newport Beach. We had the Big Brothers, Big Sisters yesterday. We put an NHL golf team in, us three, and Picky played with us, Todd. So for a great cause, beautiful golf course, fun day out there. We played great, boys. We won our flight. We won our celebrity. We beat the baseball guys, the basketball guys, and the football guys. Remember the size of that one football guy?
Yeah, monster. And pretty good golf game. Yeah. One thing I recognize, I hadn't played with you in a while, Richie, but for a lefty hockey player, guy that snapped it around pretty good on the ice, your right-handed golf swing is fucking tense.
Well, I appreciate it.
Like you often see the lefty hockey player example over here, Obes. Great hands on the ice, but you bring him on to like a having to switch sides and right-handed club. I always thought, it's a bit of a left-handed golfer.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Your turn and everything, it's natural as can be for that sort of switch. Have you ever thought about maybe back in the day being a lefty or no?
Never thought about it. When I got lessons as a little kid, they're like, whatever way you throw a baseball.
Yeah.
Throw with the right hand. I'm doing it. I don't know. That's what my coach told me. Who knows? Yeah, he's right or wrong, but it just felt natural, so I did it. But I'm just like short.
Good, tight little stance on it. Tight little stance on the smothers are a bit. You ever see Ruben breathe? Sometimes I used to tell, let her breathe.
It's a professional turn. Like if you're hitting, and that's how they say it on the tour, right? I was hitting balls one time with Steeler at an event that he brought me to, and the guys were kind of like, a couple of coaches looking. They're like, great turn, like right, like that action at the bottom.
Yeah,
yours is like, if you want to step on one, you can see how the guy's an athlete.
Yeah, no, he's got good club head speed. He bombs it.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, you used to bomb it by me every summer. Like, here we go. Rich is going to shoot 74 and get mad. I'm shooting fucking 92. But it was for a great cause. I appreciate Richie coming in for it. Up Dog, thanks for playing. Todd Pickup, you're the man, brother. Before we move on, let's not forget, this show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. We'll be right back, fellas. Welcome back to Missin Curfew around the National League, boys. The New York Islanders finally got a bounce since the 80s. Since the 80s, they finally got a bounce here. They had this has your boy Bettman written all over it, by the way. You two guys are working for the league. I know you are.
Explain why.
3.5% chance.
Yeah, but what does he have incentive
the
to
fucking
give
the fucking pinballs. He weighs a couple pinballs down more for the Islanders.
Why put everything on there? Everything.
I didn't see it, but this stinks of rigged by the NHL.
Why?
You think a
Because they took the All-Star game away from them, and now they're going to do some international fucking friendly thing. The Rangers suck. The Flyers stink. Bruins now suck. You need somebody on the East Coast to have something to talk about.
Okay.
They got a new rink.
The Flyers could have got it. They were right there.
Flyers could have got it.
I just think it's like there was no incentive. Like, hey, the Long Island's like the place that we need to bump up. They built a new rink, thank God. But I don't know. I mean, I see where your head's at. Like, how does this happen? 3%, but 3% of the time it works every time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Hey, listen, I know you guys are going to stick up for him. I mean, hey, KC, these guys are working for the league.
Was Gary pulling the balls out or what? I didn't.
Well, listen, look at this. It's in a briefcase. Who put the thing in the?
They had like a lawyer up.
Who put the thing in the briefcase? Who put it in there? Did Bettman put it in there?
It's like the Oscars. Who puts?
Yeah, but who puts it in there? Look at this. Look at this. This rinks of being rigged. Look at him. He knows what he's doing. I know what you're doing, Gary.
I saw him slip it in. He slipped
it. Look at
He slipped it.
See, some of the balls weigh more than others for guaranteed 100%. Who's this guy? Where'd they get this guy from? Maybe he's a hired gun. He knows how to spin him in there. Look at that one was different to me.
Yeah, so I don't.
I'm just joking. I don't know, boys. I just anything that how I am. I'm all over Bettman, but I do think this stinks of a little bit of a rig job. But I don't know.
Oh, so each team was given a number and whatever pops out.
Yeah, and you tell me how you don't know one ball weighs more than another one there? Just kind of... Or less.
Sucks you right
so the Islanders' ball was the heaviest and the rest of them? I don't know, boys. I mean, listen, who's even going to go first overall this year?
I don't even know. That's the thing. So I don't know if this is the year you really need it or want it. If it's
I think it's good for them, though. I think that, listen, the Islanders, they got a pretty good hockey club. If they can add a first overall pick, like they were in the playoffs right down the stretch, right? They can add a kid to come in and be an electric player.
It's a boring hockey team.
No, I know it's a boring hockey team. Who we got, KC?
Like that Misa kid supposed to...
Oh, Schaefer, the defenseman that got hurt. He got hurt in World Juniors for Canada.
Look at that meat. Yeah, Jake O'Brien.
Who's that?
Jake O'Brien, 6'2", 172.
Good kid from Brantford,
Ontario. Throws both. It's going to be Schaefer. Is that how you say his name?
Schaefer.
You know, I struggle with the F.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Roger McQueen. I play with his old man. I play with Scott McQueen.
He's played with fucking everyone.
Yeah, in Fort Mac.
6'5".
Ever since we started this party, he's like, I play with his dad. I play with his uncle.
Let me see what that kid looks like. But hit Roger McQueen's photo. If he's got red curly hair, that's for sure his old man I play with. Roger, let's see this kid's
6'5" centerman.
Yeah, that's him for sure. Let's see. Yeah, that's exactly him. Wow. Congrats, kid.
Brandon Wheat Kings. Nice.
Looks exactly
always like
that.
the Wheat Kings.
That is a nice jersey.
I like the better
with a funny fucker, man. His dad was hilarious. Yeah, I played on that, like the Fort Mac team. We were hosting the Royal Bank Cup, and we brought in like 10 guys that were the 20-year-olds that didn't want to play in the dub that year as like that guy. We paid them all. His old man was one. I think he came in from Regina. Pat's fucking beauty. I love it. Yeah.
So it's going to be a D-man. That kid's, and I would say the Islanders don't need a D-man, right? With Pollock and Pelech and, Romanov. They have a pretty good D.
They do.
Maybe a trait to pick.
You never know.
Right? Now, I just think it's a good bounce for them that gives them a little asset in their pocket, right, to do something with it.
Well, it's always nice having the first overall pick. You get to pick whoever you want. So,
yeah, well, we'll just see if Bettman, you guys, You guys always sticking up for Bettman. But anyways, congrats to Kevin Connolly and the New York Islanders. Maybe we'll let Collins. Here, I'll say this. They should let Kevin Connolly do the first overall pick. Bring him in. Let him do it. He'll absolutely kill it.
Right.
Moving on here, boys. Team Canada at the World Championships. Yesterday on the golf course, since we've all been hanging out the last few days, there's been a lot of chatter about this team. Listen, Crosby, McKinnon going, now Marc-Andre Fleury going. I never represented my country, so I don't know. To me, if I'm a guy like Nathan McKinnon, I get you want to play with Sid, but is rest not a weapon? Like, do you want to go over there for 3 weeks? And I don't know. I think this is more of, to me, a young guys tournament. I know you need veteran guys, but we got a pretty star-studded cast here, boys.
I think it's great. I mean, I don't know. I think it's great. Yeah, I know you're going to question, like, why would these guys not want to be, boat on a yacht somewhere in Italy?
Yeah, summer's just short. But, Sid played a lot of hockey trying to get the Penguins out of the cellar. Nate just, was a horse all year and got hurt at the end of the season. So McKinnon couldn't finish the season, right, for the Avs, which cost them fucking home ice, which may cost them the fucking series. So if I'm now the owner of the Colorado Avalanche, the guy who owns the Rams and everyone else, what's his name? Kroenke.
Stan
Kroenke. Are you not like, why is my $12.5 million player going to fucking, where are they, Prague or Sweden to play? Or
yeah, I think they're going because
Zeno is the head coach, eh?
Olympics next year. That's why I think a lot of these guys want to go. They want to be seen. They want to be on that radar. If you got to play the game sometimes for these Team Canada.
Yes,
too. I'm not saying McKinnon's not.
McKinnon's on
the
team.
But I'm saying some of these other guys are on a tryout for this team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't agree with
Noah Dobson, Sandheim, all these guys. Uyghur wants to be on that team.
Yeah.
Contour wants to be on that team.
100%.
So you got
how cool is it? Like Celebrini gets to play with Sid and McKinnon.
It's amazing.
Will that ever happen?
I think
for this kid.
No,
it's good. It's good for the morale. Like one thing we always say about the U.S. is these kids are super tight. Like they grew up together. The U.S. national program together. Canada doesn't get to do this very often at all. So this is a good way for them to all meet and for these young Canadian kids, to see how these guys are.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. Now, if you want to do that, they're not going to come over. Have a summer camp for I think Hockey Canada needs more things together for sure. Now, a 3-week tournament in Sweden or wherever it is this year, I don't think that's the answer. But I do think Hockey Canada needs more bringing the boys together. So if that's your argument, I can kind of see a point. But I still don't think the World Championships is the answer for the veteran guys.
Well,
Crosby, McKinnon.
100%. I don't think those guys need to be there.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They're not going to play like 25 minutes a night. They're going to play 17 minutes.
What if someone falls on his knee and he fucking tears his ACL?
It's a beast.
McKinnon gets over there. He's going to want to play every second.
And it's good to get some international, some Olympic size ice for these guys too, to see,
But I think that's why is the Olympic stuff. I think they're getting used to it and they want to do it. And I think you'd be better off doing a golf tournament this summer, skiing, a little golf tournament, getting the boys together.
Pickleball game.
They do
boys together.
Like, I mean, they go to the Vale and Spawn that our brand Quench puts that on, and they all go up there and they train. Sid's been doing it forever. But one thing we think of a short summer for these guys, like it's May, and they don't have to report till September. Middle of September. There's still 4 months here. These guys are such hockey, animals that they're going to just go bored as hell.
It's true. I mean, they can't turn it off, but
they can't.
That's a long year playing the Four Nations, the whole season.
Yeah, it is. They haven't had a break. They literally haven't had a break. Nate hasn't had a break. He literally went from a Game 7 into right over to the World Championships.
I will say this, from experience, a little bit I played in one. It is a break when you're over there. It's like you go over there,
you got quite the same.
You literally have
the old boy
4 meaningful games. 4 meaningful games. The round robin is just a chance to acclimate to the weather over there and to the time zone.
Yeah.
You're eating good food. You stay in a good hotel. Team Canada does a great job. And you're going to have 4 important games and a chance to win another, world championship. These guys, they love that stuff. They love these moments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time since we played, but do you not remember how you felt at the end of the season? Like, banged up, fucking hurting, hands hurt, head hurts, fucking groins in one. You know, it's like, oh, let's go play the World Championship if you're Nate McKinnon. I know the game's not as physical and taxing as it used to be, but to me, it's like a waste of energy to me.
Yeah.
I've never represented my country, so I don't know.
I was also sick of living out of a suitcase all season. You travel, you run planes. I just want to just go and chill and golf and wake up in my own bed. And I don't know.
You know what?
Everyone's different.
Take a view on the fact that maybe McKinnon's kind of pissed off.
Oh, he's
that like Colorado, like the Avs ended up losing that game like that. And he's like, you know what? I know you want me to stay back, but fuck that. I'm going. I'm going to go play with Sid. I'm going to go score like 20 goals at this tournament. You know, I don't know.
There's no way they want him to go.
No.
Not a chance in hell.
I don't even know why Sid would want to go. Like, I know he wants to skate, but like, fuck, he's how old is he?
McKinnon's going because Crosby's going. Like they're all, you know, let's go do it. Like,
I get that. I can get behind your buddy. Like, if you were on the team or you're like, hey, you want to go play? I'd be like, really, you want to play? But okay, sure, let's go win one. Let's go win one. But yeah, I'm excited to see Weegsy. Actually, I'm not going to watch any of it. Who am I kidding? Are you going to watch?
You think any of the St. Louis Blues go over? Question, but you think like Cam Fowler goes over, or you know, Braden Schen's banged up, but like Schenner and Crosby and McKinnon are all tight boys. But you think there's anyone in the Blues that would go over? Robert Howe, maybe. Parayko would probably go if he's.
Well, again, if he, this is what
he was hurt too, though.
I know, but this is then you feel obligated.
Our Army's the GM. He's going to be there.
But I don't know. Then you start seeing all these guys go and you're like, oh, Uyghur, he might take my spot on the Olympic team if I don't go. Yeah, I don't know.
No, there's some definitely Olympic.
That's what guys
repercussions.
If I don't go, they're not going to take me. I don't know.
Who was the one kid they got? They told me Blake Coleman, who's an American-born player. They're like, if you come to World Championships, you know, you'll be a real consideration for the Four Nations.
Not even a sniff.
How'd that work out, Blake?
Yeah.
You can't trust these hockey guys. We know that.
They'll say anything.
They'll say anything to get you over there. Come on over. We'll make sure you're guaranteed on the team. But anyways, good luck to Team Canada. Updog, I think you got to get you a job there with Hockey Canada, with Getsy and the boys. Put the team. Your passion.
I'd like to one.
Your passion for the World Championship is through the roof.
If you have a little advisor,
Spangler, eh? Right of the Spangler.
Maybe we could
start with the Spangler.
Start with the Spangler.
No one promotes that more than me.
Yeah,
No one promotes the Spangler.
Who's the GM of the Spangler Cup team?
I think it's
Brad Pascal, who's assistant GM of Calgary. He does it with
Scotty
Jumbo,
and
Jumbo's part of it.
Same guys every year though, or they rotate it?
I think they kind of stay together. I know Jumbo's been doing it the last couple of years now.
I think that would be great. That's
I
love it. Playing it though if they need a guy.
Well, fuck. You're never going to get on the team if McKinnon and Crosby fucking
just
go play.
Make sure you bring my sticks, okay?
I mean, you don't have any chance.
If five guys go down here, I can get her going. I get it deep.
Player relations. Look at the title for Getzlaff.
Yeah, who's
Player Relations Advisor. Now that's a nice title.
It's a great title.
So they might have
great title.
Huska, McCarthy.
Steve McCarthy. I played against him in the jungle, and he played in Atlanta, didn't he?
Oh, Kent Kabelka.
Sports you need a sports psychologist at the World Championships. If you got to talk to the psychologist at at the Worlds, you're a fucking mental midget. No, save your money, Hockey Canada. Hey, I really had a bad game against Norway there, buddy. Come on in here. Fuck, that guy took me line there, replacing the Norwegian 4th league. I'm just crusty at Hockey Canada ups. They never fucking invited me, so maybe that's what it is. But good luck to the boys. Maybe what Uppy you're saying is I should have been more dedicated to the craft of hockey, eh? I'm
not saying anything personal.
Summer went so fast. It's like, you know, you lose in the second round or first round, you know, then it's Memorial Day weekend and it's July 4th, and that's, you know, it's Labor Day.
Forgot Canada today.
The end of the day, I got to go to Ottawa with Richie, and then fucking, you know, one little golf trip to Gaza or something, and it's like, boom, fucking it's over. Body fat tested next Tuesday, right? What just happened here?
Where'd she go, fellow?
The only thing that you see your actually like, oh boy, I need a paycheck. That's the only good thing out there.
Do they pay to go over there? Or?
I don't know. But good luck to the boys, eh? Represent us. Go get them, boys, eh? Go get them, Sid. Go win your. How many times has Sid won this? A ton.
That's a good question. Probably 2, 3.
Yeah. And you know why the World Championships? Just I'm going back here again to Ryan Smith. Remember when Ryan Smith would go to the World Championships every year and be like, "I'm Captain Canada." It's like, buddy,
not one guy on us team thought he was Captain Canada.
Mixing a playoff game. Hey, mixing a playoff game. But NHL awards, boys, we have all our nominees. The one I wanted to talk to both you guys about was the Selke here. I cannot believe Jack Eichel is not on this list. Barkov, fine. Sorelli, fine. And listen, Sam Reinhart, I think you're a hell of a two-way player. You scored a Stanley Cup winning goal. You're great to Missin Curfew. I went to Coachella with you. Great player. Can a winger be up for the Celtic? Like, can a winger be up for the Selkie? Has a winger ever won the Selkie? Tasty, can you find that?
I don't think a winger's ever won it. Not that I can remember.
Not that I can remember either.
But I don't know. I mean, there's other guys. Eichel, 100%. Like, I think should be on this list.
Yeah, you should.
I
think
mean,
the captain in New Jersey should be there too. I think
Nico Heischer.
Nico, another one. I thought Kopi had a hell of a year again at 38 years old.
But you should be a centerman.
I
You
mean,
should be a PK centerman.
yeah, you taking all those face-offs matter. All those little things you do as a centerman matter.
You could almost argue the Lady Bing guys could be up for the Selkie as well. Eichel, Kopitar, Point. You could almost say those guys are just as good as it gets defensively too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Lady Bing's the most gentleman-like player, right?
yeah. It's a tough one to win, I guess, but it's still nice, right? Factor won that.
Yeah, they say points up there for her.
Oh, yeah, you got to have a lot of points, and you got to...
No, I mean Braden Point.
Yeah.
It's just a gentleman out there.
I think he is a gentleman. Ike's is a gentleman. Kopi's a gentleman.
Plays like a prick, though, right?
I just don't think a winger should be up for the Selkie.
I don't either. Even though he's a
Bob
hell of a
Gainey
player.
won a few in the 70s, and Yuri Lettinen in 2003.
Oh, Yuri Lettinen.
He was a little welding, wasn't he?
He was reliable out there for the Dallas Stars.
This should still be called the Patrice Bergeron moving forward.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
How many? 6?
7, right?
7. Kess was a great two-way player. Datsuk.
Draper.
Drapes. Michael Pekka. He played hard. John Madden. Wow. Ups.
That was it.
So Lettinen won her back-to-back years as a winger.
Where do you see back to? Oh, right there.
Yuri Lettinen.
He won 3 of them.
Fedorov, winger. 3 of them. 2.
Fedorov did both, though.
Yeah,
Center,
he
too.
played center. Fuck, he played D, didn't he?
Gee.
Dougie.
Ricky Mahar, good old boy.
Ricky
Mahar.
I used to play in the Craig Ramsey, great guy. I used to play in the Ricky Mahar golf tournament with you.
I know you did.
Yeah.
He's a little sucky when I forgot about that.
Another one I wanted to touch with you boys on here was the Calder. Michkov from Philly.
Yeah.
You think that he got snubbed here or what?
I don't.
No?
No, I think Celebrini was arguably, for a full season better.
I gotta go with Wolf on this one. No.
You think that? I think Lane Hudson's going to win it.
Well, he had a pretty good, yeah.
Well, sure. I just thought, I thought Michkov, did he not lead in goals? Go to goals there, Kyle?
He had 23?
Yeah.
26?
26. And then did Celebrini have more points than him? Tied in points. Yeah, I mean, listen, I love Macklin Celebrini. I mean, I guess everyone can't be nominated, right, Ups?
Yeah, and 60. I mean, the kid had 60 apples, Lane Hudson, the D-man.
Yeah, he's going to win it.
Heads up.
I'll tell you what, looking at this list too, and Carter Gauthier, I don't love what he did with the Flyers and manning a trade, but he's the points. Fuck, he had a really good second half of a
He did.
season.
He turned it on that.
He really turned it on.
Last 2 months, didn't he?
Yeah, but you guys know it's easy to play when fuck.
No, there's nothing on the line. I know.
Right?
Yeah, just a contract. He just
Well, you just like, you're
Stay in
throwing
the league.
sauce. You're it actually makes your confidence go up because you're out on the ice a lot.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, you're a young guy, just
And if you make a mistake, you're going to go back out there again.
make plays.
safe to say Landy's got the Masterton wrapped up, and then for the Hart, it feels like Hellebuck. I'm fine with those nominees. I think you could have made an argument for McCarr as a Hart finalist.
I agree. Yeah.
But at that point, you're just kind of,
It's tough. Everyone had good years.
Everyone had. That's what I mean.
It's
Everyone had great years. So good luck to the boys. Ike's, I think he got snubbed on the Selkie fella. I've watched a lot of fucking Knights games and his two-way games. When you talk about two-way centers too, Austin Matthews. I know he was hurt this year, but his two-way game has come a long way as well. So DraftKings bets, baby, presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Jets Blues in Game 7. Updog, I was on the right side of her. You were on the wrong side of her. Me, Richie, and Loops had the Jets. What a game, man. I mean, that was a big-time swing for me. I had the Jets in the game. I had the Jets in a 4-team playoff series parlay. And at 3-1, I'm like, this is over. And then, obviously, we know how it went down.
Yeah. They're reminding me. I knew we were going to talk about this. There's so much to talk about. But I thought it was a perfect road game up until, maybe 3 minutes left. Tough penalty by Schenner, flipping her over the glass. two amazing chances to get the puck out. I think one was on Falk where he iced it, and another was Bouchner.
Hey, what a kill! Sorry to cut, but what a
Yeah.
kill when Schenner did flip.
No, I
out.
know.
I was like, "Fuck!" What a response from the boys, and you could tell how much Braden Shen means to the team. But what that kill, it almost switched the momentum back to the Blues. That was one of the best penalty kills I've seen in the playoffs. They gave the Jets fucking nothing.
I mean, Binner was on top of his game. You're not going to score on a soft goal on that guy in any sort of game like that. I think he's been proven. Jim Montgomery turns into a 1-3 in game sevens, but it seems like the right guy to want to play for. It seemed like he wanted to get his guys. I'll let you guys touch on Winnipeg, but I just thought the St. Louis Blues, battled back in the series, proved everyone that they're a real team. They made great moves down the stretch with Fowler, bringing in, Holiday and Broberg. I mean, they're a real team right now.
I thought the icing Justin Falk had with, I don't know, I can't remember how much time was left. I was like, fuck, you don't want to ice that one there. I think that hurt him. You heard Monty talk about their 5-on-6 or 6-on-5, whatever you want to say. That was an unbelievable shot by Faska there. That was a heartbreaker, I thought. When they went up 3-1 heading into the third, he scored late in the second, I thought it was over. But they didn't close it out, and you got to give the Jets credit. But me and, Richie were talking yesterday up. It's like, the 5-on-6 play in general nowadays to me is just, I don't know, guys. They just can't lock it down. I mean, I know guys are way more skilled and they move it quicker, but you got to lock that down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost, when the team gets the puck set up,
I think you got to pressure more.
I think you got to go.
Like they sit back, everyone sits back in the middle and they let them feed the points. Like, look at how everyone is just in tight. Like, go to him. Like, Schenner was late to him there. That was a bad bounce, but.
What did that hit there?
That hit right his hand, bounced on the ice, and went up.
They got some really good bounces or bad bounces, whatever way you want to look at it. But like, some of those ones are just bad luck.
Yeah, no, it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
and then the double overtime, the OT, they were just settling in.
I honestly love that play right there though, by Schenner.
No,
you know what I mean? You can eat that. You don't.
Yeah, eat it.
Eat that. Muck it up.
Don't feed the point.
You don't need to give it to the point.
Do not give it to the D-man.
Keep it in the corner. Muck it, and then,
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more.
And again, he's the heart and soul, but he probably wants that one back.
I thought that one was going in there.
It is too.
Yeah, but anyways, DraftKings bets up dog. Sorry, buddy. I was on the right side of that one. I was on the wrong side of the Avalanche Stars. We were golfing. We caught the end of the third period when, shit started really running downhill for the Avs, but you got to give the Stars credit, but once again, 2-0, Game 7, on the road. Fuck, you like to think you can lock that one down.
I didn't watch much of that game until the third, but I thought those two calls late in the game, when it's it's such a close game in a Game 7, Wes McCauley, you're gonna call McCarr. He's got no stick. He's coming back. He makes an incredible play on, I think it's ropey hints or something. He goes skate on puck, and then the guy ends up falling over him after, but that's not a trip. In no fashion is that a trip. And then the hold on Sagan after the draw, you don't need to hold him, but it had no play.
Yeah, they weren't getting 7 calls.
Fuck no.
You
Come on, refs. Like, let the guys decide the game. I mean, but Blackwood, you got to make some saves too. I mean,
yeah. First playoff experience for Blackwood.
I will say this: the goal, the Wyatt Johnson goal, they scored 2 like it down the stretch. The pass across from Duchesne it's an amazing pass, but it's what a dish.
He should never be that close to the net making that play.
And D, know what's going on. And I think it's Coyle. Get the backside. I don't care if you give up the middle of the ice. Get the backside.
Give your goalie a chance to make a save.
Yeah.
There. He can't make that post-to-post save. This was bad all around from the D. Get turned around, skate.
That was a bad goal by Blackwood and off Sam Girard's skate. I would have changed him 3 years ago. Yeah, Sam Girard, that is.
Yeah, he's not perfect.
What's Mikko Rantanen? What a high, what a game. I mean, that's a career deciding fucking third period.
What's the defenseman doing there? Turn around. 55, what's his name?
Lindgren.
What is he doing?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a bad goal all around. Played bad by both defenseman and goalie.
Look at Girard. He's using a little field hockey stick.
Yeah, he's got the pool cue.
That's why she's called gambling, boys.
Right.
That's why she's called gambling.
That one stung.
The Avs, we're going to get to the Avs in tea time, but that one stung. DraftKings, always bet responsibly. Get some skin in the game. Moving on, boys, into round 2 here. We talked about the first round being the best, and I think it is the best for excitement and guys coming out and landing on the line. Everyone's somewhat healthy. As a podcast host and a guy betting on DraftKings on games, it's almost too many games. I'm just like, I couldn't keep up. Now we get 2 a night. We had 1 last night, but let's start with the game last night. Richie, I was sitting there watching it with you. At 4-1, I said, this one's over. And you went, it's never over with the Leafs. Fought back hard. Good win for the Leafs, but I think that puts a little bit of doubt in their head, I think, the way it ended, don't you?
I think so, yeah. I don't trust Toronto. I just got something with them. I like their team a lot better than the years past with having like Chris Tanev and Ekman Larson there now, and the goalie. But I just don't trust them. And you can see like once they kind of the momentum shifted, they just kind of get in their little shell.
Yeah.
And it goes back to those old Leafs where you're like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The old butt cheeks, the old clench up.
Yeah, and I think Florida gets a lot of momentum off that going to the next game.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was, a tough start, but William Nylander stepped up. I mean, his play the last couple of games. I want to say you got to keep Matthews sleeping because he really hasn't found his game so far in the playoffs, but he ended up, I think, making great plays and having a good game. Florida needs to be the team that brings the fight to this Toronto Maple Leafs team. I think over a 7-game series, they can't keep up. Physically, if Florida continues to pound their D and get to the net, they're just such a bigger team. Their D are bigger. I just think, it was like 7-game series. They got to think the long game here, and Florida needs to continue. I don't think that Toronto can step up to the physical challenge.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, what's going to be the deciding factor. And then Bobrovsky's just got to make some better saves. There were some goals that just shouldn't have gone in on him.
Yeah, I thought Florida got off to a sluggish start. I think they were just down there in Fort Lauderdale with the flip-flops on. Vitamin D, right?
Days,
they haven't
right?
played 6 days. I think the Leafs came out and jumped on them. Good for the Leafs. But then once the Cats found their game, Updog, me and Richie were talking like Barkey,
What is this hit? That just hits. I can't go in, can it?
No. I need a little bit more to Barkov. I don't know. Like, he doesn't seem to be in the fight like he was last year for them. I don't know.
He's probably seeing stars still from the hit.
Yeah, from Hagel.
You could be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he didn't miss a game, right? Maybe he should have been off for a week or so.
No, and that's a great point. I mean, I got my bell rung in Colorado one year, and my dad, I remember Pitter called me and said, "Why aren't you hitting?" And I was like, "Dad, I'm just trying to get through these games. Like, I got a full concussion here, guaranteed." So maybe he is dealing with a little, I just remember sitting in the room and the lights were bright. Maybe he's dealing with some of that.
Yeah, he's played a lot of hockey, right? But in saying that, we've all been there. This is when you got to step up and be a guy. And if we haven't seen it, you just got to think like maybe something's ailing.
Bennett, Elbow, and Stolars, I got no problem with it. Go in the net, do a better job as a Leafs defenseman to keep him away from the blue paint. I just think, listen, it's just him going in the net.
I don't even know if it was an elbow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chief didn't like it, though.
He didn't like it.
No, I mean, it's a star goal.
Chief wishes Ben was on his team.
Well, you got to protect your goalie, obviously.
Yeah, and Stoley's a big boy. Like, I don't know. But somebody said Reinhart wrung one off his fucking head, too, right?
Reinhart in the first period rang one right off his jaw.
Yeah.
And that's where I think Florida's saying, if it just wasn't the hit. And look, Stolars was a Florida Panther last year. All these guys, they have respect for him. They're not going to go and absolutely take a run at the back of his head. Although, advantage-wise, it's now in Florida's favor that he's not playing. But you don't want to see a guy get hurt. News was he left the game in a stretcher.
Yeah.
And he was puking, left the game in a stretcher. So he's banged up. So he's a great guy. I've got to know him when he's in his Ducks days here. But
I mean,
it's you hardly hit him. That's almost like maybe his neck kind of
maybe, yeah. But if that's a big serious difference if he's not playing.
Yeah, it is.
Because he's had a great.
I think he'll bounce back.
You think so?
I think he'll be all right. He's a big, strong Jersey boy. Stoley the goalie.
It's like the top of your glove. It's more of a fist or it's more the top of your hand than the elbow there, I think.
That happens to players every shift.
Yeah. Either way, that's why you go to the net in the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? Get to the fucking net. I'm going to hammer the Cats in game 2.
Yep.
We got a couple game 1s, boys. Capitals Hurricanes starting tonight, recording on a Tuesday. Richie and Loops have taken the Washington Capitals. Updog, Obes, and Jay Swish were on the Canes. Game 1 tonight. I'm not sure what to expect tonight. I think it's a more important game for Washington than it is Carolina. I got Carolina in the series on the sure fact that I don't think the Caps can keep up. Now, if the Caps can slow them down and use their size and use their veteran experience and get in front of Freddie, thinking Freddie's healthy, I'm assuming he's healthy, It could be a tough series for the Canes, but the way they cycled against the Devils, the way they came in waves, I love the way the third and fourth line for the Hurricanes are playing right now. Let me pull it up here, boys. Martinook, Stahl, Jarvis, is that their third line? I was talking more about Robinson, Jankowski, Will Carrier, who I absolutely love. Stan Galvin's playing unbelievable. Kotkaniemi, man, listen, this guy's turned into a better player than I thought he was. Jackson Blake's a nice little player, and then their big boys, Svechnikov and all. I don't know. Maybe it's...
Is that team?
Yeah.
Is they big? Are they big enough?
I don't know if they're big enough, but their back end's good.
Their back end.
That Gostisbehere's good. Walker's good.
I love Chatfield too.
Yeah, you do?
I like him. I like the way. I don't know. I like how he's in there. He fights.
Sometimes he gets the puck. I think he might be left-handed, but
I'm not saying his puck play is ideal, but I just like this. He's got some heaviness to him.
You know what? I got money on the Canes, but as long as if the Caps keep going, I think it's good for hockey too, having Ovi in there. But that one starts tonight. Up dog. Moving on here, fella. You got the T-shirt on there. Golden Knights, Oilers. I did not bet this series. I have futures on both of them, so I'm going to lose one of my horses. I think I'm going to take the over in game one here and maybe continue to take it on throughout the series. But up dog, we know you're bleeding orange and blue. What are your thoughts here, fella? How you feeling heading into game one?
I'm torn. Vegas Golden Knights been a team I've liked. Love Ikes, love Todd Pickup and the boys, but I'm an Edmonton Oiler, bleeding blue, bleeding orange and blue. I got my orange. I got the, like you just said, sauce hockey. Get it online, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I'm expecting high pace, high energy. I'm expecting McDavid and Draisaitl to take their game to another level. I know that's probably shocking to say, boys, but this is now Connor McDavid, again, 1 goal short of the Stanley Cup, his dream last year. Now he smells it again. 12 more wins away, only 8 teams left. They've been through the Golden Knights before. I think there's been 2. Have they played them 2 in the last 3 years? Lost 1 and won 1?
They lost to them on Vegas March to the Cup.
Yeah. And did they
I don't
get
know
them
if
the next year?
I think they might have.
Okay, so this is just round 2. Yeah. This is round 2. Yeah. Listen, boys, 2 great teams. I think, if you look at goaltending, Aiden Hill didn't have a great first round, but he's been there. He's been there. He's won the Cup. I think the advantage in goaltending is with the Vegas Golden Knights. I think defense, the Vegas Golden Knights on paper, defense as good as it gets, but they haven't really found their game. If you look at the stats, Petro was a minus, Theodore was a minus in the first round, and they're going to see a different onslaught of offense this round. But then the forwards, I just think the depth and the drive of the Edmonton Oilers right now, they prove themselves, with the Henrique stepping up, Janmark stepping up, got goals from Kane, who's our boy from Boston that stepped in. He's found his game. One goal, 2 assists now in the first round. He's starting to look a little bit healthier. So listen, I'm on the Oil bandwagon, boys. I know it's going to be a good series. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm torn as well, right? You just said, pick up T-Rex and Schmoods and the boys and Jack Eichel. The thing that, before I turn over to you, Rich, because I know you're on Vegas, I think Vegas is the better team. I think if it came down to me and it was life or death and someone said, Obi, who are you going to take? I would probably say Vegas. However, I thought that the LA Kings were a better team than the Edmonton Oilers. And for me, I think the depth of the Oilers up front showed throughout that series. It's only going to continue to get better. Arvidsson, Kane, Janmark, Paul Colson, Frederick, and then the big boys up top. And then for me, the back end of Jake Wallman and Klingberg. As the series went on, they were better and better and better. They're going to have to continue to get better. Emerson has turned into a bottom pair that I thought I've watched this kid develop all year. At the start of the year, I'm like, get this kid out of the lineup. As the year went on, I'm like, this guy is a serviceable defenseman, as Jay Swish would say. Goaltending, I'm with you, Uppy. Hill wasn't great. Can Calvin Pickard do it? I don't know. This is a coin flip. It's going to be tough, but I'm with Uppy on the fact that McDavid and Draisaitl can taste getting back there again, and I said I would never bet against McDavid again.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, I know. I haven't bet the series. I'm not betting it. I'm not betting it.
I agree with everything you're saying, and you make great points. The depth of Vegas. I'm just looking at their centerman. I always like Eichel, Hurdle, Roy, and Howden as a 22-goal scorer in the fourth line center.
Oh, they're stacked.
I mean, their D are stacked. Every line has got heaviness. It's got skill. I mean, you can roll 4 lines out. Oilers, they did. Their depth guys played good in the last series. I'll be honest, they did play good. But with Pickard, who I love, I don't know if I see him hosting a Stanley Cup. And I'm not saying they can't switch back and forth and do a tandem thing, but it's hard to bet against McDavid. Obviously, he just took down the Kings, him and Draisaitl. It's tough, but on paper, this is a deeper team, the Vegas team.
Well, I agree. They're back end alone. Look at that, right?
No, they're
back end alone.
And I mean, look at their forward groups. Every line's got some heaviness and skill. They got I don't know. It's tough to.
It's a tough series to pick.
It's a tough series to pick, and I'm not cheering against anyone. It's just McDavid and them. Yeah. It's fun to see them play, and you never know. But
it will be an exciting series.
I can't wait to watch it.
It'll be a great hockey series.
I was going to go to the Jays game tonight and watch the Jays. That they stink. They only got like 4 home runs all year. I'm like, I'm not missing the Oilers Knights game for the fucking Jays game. I'll tell you that. So
no,
can't wait to take it in. Last but not least, boys, Jets Stars. I'll start off here. I just think Dallas getting over the Avs in the first round, Rantanen finding his game, Rope Hintz, Wyatt Johnson, Dutchy's doing his thing. I think the Jets have blew their load, so to speak. I don't know what's going on with Morrissey. I got the Stars. I think goaltending is advantage Stars. Everything to me is advantage Stars.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Ottinger is a playoff guy. Hellebuck, not so much so far. So we're going to see, does this uplift him and does he hit another stride? Does he turn into the guy that he was for 82 games this year? We'll see. But like you said, I think Winnipeg Jets, man, that was a tough series. I know Dallas.
Great series.
Dallas had to eat a lot of pucks and eat a lot of minutes in their own zone playing against Colorado, but not to the extent of the body work that, St. Louis was bringing.
No, the Jets series was harder physically than the Avs Star series.
No Scheifele, no
Morrissey.
That's tough.
Goaltending issues.
Yeah.
Stars are hot. Rantanen's cooking.
Yeah.
And they unleashed the hounds behind the bench.
Oh, they did. They certainly did.
I'm glad when I know I love the St. Louis. I love all Braden Shen, and I'm happy the Jets got past the first round though, because they had to go through the dog days there in Winnipeg. They win the President's Trophy and they just get bounced in the first round. It would have been like, oh, these poor bastards, right? That's a long summer for the boys.
No kidding.
Now if they get bounced, it's like, all right, you're banged up and
good season. Yeah, you got some excuses.
Yeah, you got some excuses. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Moving on, boys. Get this guy a Labatt Blue. Brought to you by Labatt. With Labatt, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your seat, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com. Look at those blue lights over there.
Yeah, tasty.
Fuck, are they tasty there. I'm going to start. I'm dishing 4. I dished 4 blue lights to the boys. We touched on them. Mikko Rantanen, first ever guy with a third period hat trick in a Game 7. He deserved at least a dozen blue lights after that game, so good on him. The captain of the Winnipeg Jets, Adam Lowry. I love this guy. He was an absolute beast in the entire series and in the Game 7. He got the winner. I would take this guy on my team any fucking day of the week. Adam Lowry, get yourself a Labatt Blue, fella. Good luck in the next round. And then for my last 2, I'm going off the board. John Gruden, who I absolutely love. I follow him on Barstool. I love John Gruden. I loved him as a coach. He got the Blues fired up before Game 6. If you're not following John Gruden on Instagram, give him a follow. This guy is a fucking glue guy. Look at him. He's unbelievable. He loves blue lights. Look at him. Crushing a blue light. He's unbelievable. So John Gruden, get yourself a Labatt Blue. And then last but not least, yesterday in the Big Brothers Big Sisters Derby, shout out to local real estate guru Tim Smith. In the Derby, took 2 practice swings, and Richie kind of chirped him, didn't phase him. And he heard you.
I know he did.
He heard you.
I thought I would get in his head a little bit.
He heard you, and he took 2 practice swings.
Heavy ones.
He's probably a 12 handicap and stuffed it in there. So
said, shut up,
Smitty, Tim Smith, get yourself Labatt Blue, fella. What a shot. You won the Big Brothers Big Sisters. Guy's a beauty.
He stepped up. Not only can he sell a nice house, he can step up when the time comes. What a shot.
Those
right over the bunker. Oh, he went in.
Fucking imagine it would have went in. Holy fucking. It was unbelievable. That boy Smitty, what a shot.
Get yourself a beer, buddy.
I would like to throw one out here to old Marty St. Louis. I just thought, he did such a good job with these young kids in Montreal this year. And, it's made the playoffs. Probably weren't expecting to make the playoffs. So, for that, get yourself a beer. But I just really like this team. I think they're just a team that's going to be there for a while. And I just think he's done a good job managing all this talent and this young this young team.
Yeah, and listen, their whole core is 25 years or younger. Slavkovsky's a beast. And I'll tell you what Marty's done a hell of a job with, not just with the players, with the media there in Montreal. Yeah. And, what can you say about Marty St. Louis? The guy was counted out his whole career, ends up being a Hall of Famer. So I think he's the perfect coach for this team, a perfect coach for the city, the media. And I did text him. My phone's still on, right? Marty, take your beer back? Marty, it's Obes. I played with you in Tampa, 55, took lots of minor penalties. We watched you come on the pod, but...
He's got his hands full.
He's got his hands full. I know. But I love Marty St. Louis. I'm with you. Get that guy Labatt Blue.
I'm just going to go, boys. Jordan Binnington, Game 7, didn't let in a fucking soft goal at all. Steps up in a time that, he's a gamer through and through. So I just want to get yourself a Labatt Blue Light. Go enjoy your summer. You worked fucking extra hard this year with the Four Nations and taking your boys to Game 7. But actually, the whole St. Louis Blues, what a stretch. Down the stretch, I think they were 19-4.
Yeah.
To get in by one, to get in by, a field goal off the post,
They deserve a fucking good year in Bender because they played playoff hockey the entire last 2 months of the season. Were they going Vegas? Do they still do that?
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, if Schenner still continues the
tradition like none other, and the Masters going to Vegas for the St. Louis Blues, a tradition like none other. But they deserve a good year.
I mean, it's been a grind.
Go to Obi Clark and just get blue lights and fucking get drunk. Yeah, they battled this. It was sad to see them go, and it sucks in the playoffs, especially the first round when you see teams get bounced. You're like, fuck, they deserve.
And and that's just a team. You can tell they're a team. You know what I mean? Like they like each other. They play the right way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, welcome back from break. I'm just going to take a moment here before the big fella gets going again to chug a little Quench Hydration Sports Mix, fellas. And that is how you stay hydrated throughout the podcast.
Quench Hydration up, dog. It's the Quench Hydration Missin Curfew. Dog of the week, fella.
Thanks, Obes. Missin Curfew Dog of the Week, fellas, is sponsored by Sizzle Brands, bringing to you Quench Hydration right here, fellas. Sizzle is elevating the game in health and wellness with a mission to remove sugar-based unhealthy products from your pantry and replace them with better products for you. Sizzle's creating products and brands that kids love and that parents are excited to have. My kids especially, with 5 exciting flavors. Check out Quench Hydration at quenchhydration.com and use promo code Curfew20. The stock ticker is CZZL. For those of you interested, check them out on the Toronto Stock Exchange. That, my friends, is our Dog of the Week sponsor. The Quench Hydration Dog of the Week is Neil Pionk for me, fellas. Over 46 minutes in Game 7 against the St. Louis Blues. What do you got to say about that? I mean, stepping up, Morrissey gets hurt in the first 2 minutes. This guy plays out of his absolute mind against a team that, like we just said, in our Labatt Blue, this guy, 46 minutes. I've never even have you heard of that in a double OT game? That's like the whole match. So 46 minutes. I mean, buddy, get yourself a quench. Taster back, rehydrate.
You might need a couple quick.
He was he wasn't allowed Labatt Blues after the game. He was like, get the Quench Hydration in you, fella, because we got the stars coming into town. And he played unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane.
And he got rewarded with a nice little contract extension before playoffs. And gotta be honest, I didn't watch the Jets a ton. And I was like, yeah, he's a good player, but why give him a nice contract before playoffs? But he's earned it. He played unbelievable. Yeah. And he definitely had to hydrate after that one. For me, staying in the same game as you up, dog, my Quench Hydration, Missin Curfew, Dog of the Week is Brandon Tanev. This is my kind of stat line here. 10 hits and 4 block shots. Every time he got on the ice, especially in overtime, he was fucking buzzing. He was hitting.
A little pepper pot.
Yeah, he's just unbelievable. And then his pitcher came up. And Mac Miller was like, whoa, that guy looks scary. I'm like, he does that on purpose every year. But, yeah, he is a scary guy. But Brandon Tanev, you're a playoff guy, you're a glue guy, and you're my Quench Hydration Dog of the Week, fella. 10 hits? Fucking A.
Tonight, baby. All right, over to me. Oh, my Quench Hydration Dog of the Week goes to none other than Wade Flaherty, the Winnipeg Jets goalie coach, because he has had his hands full.
Yeah.
That, I don't know what the hell's going on with Hellebuck. That series, it was a tough series. Three got pulled 3 times. Probably going to win the Vezina this year. And
the Hart.
And whatever. And, whatever. This guy could bounce back, but he has not played well in the playoffs.
No.
And that's a huge question mark for me going into this next round for them. But he's got his hands full, and I just
I love it.
going to give him a little shout out.
Yeah, no.
That's not an easy gig, and
No,
and I'm working with one of the best goalies in the game.
Yeah, the head coach can only talk to him so much, right? Especially in a short series like that. You got to lean on your goalie coach. I'm sure they're watching film and trying to trust his game, but I'm no goalie coach. But yeah, the fundamentals to Hellebuck have not looked like ideal. So I'm sure Wade's in there to be my fella. Look, this is you all year. Just stay big.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, I love that because back in 03,
Big fella.
03, Wade Flaherty brought us to the promised land in Milwaukee. He was our goalie. We went on to beat Wilkes-Barre in the finals for the Calder Cup. And boy, he was drinking some quench back there. Not only quench.
With some vodka.
And what a beauty. What a guy. He's just kicking old school. Like, he had just his own little way. So it's great now that he's coaching the biggest, most like kind of badass guy X's and O's goalie that we've probably ever seen. Right. So he's shout out to him.
That's hilarious that you play with him too. When I think of Wade Flaherty, pull him up, KC, if you can. Like I've San Jose Sharks, no? Wade Flaherty?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I remember.
And then he played in the Manitoba Moose after us. So that was him.
Let's get a look at him here. Let's get a look at Wade Flaherty here. Let's see the San Jose one there is what I remember of him.
Go to the first picture.
That's what I look at that. Fuck, I could have slid one by him. Look, there's a lot of net over that blocker. Look at that. That looks like maybe warm up, but there's still a lot of net there. That's the old Maple Leaf Gardens, Rich.
Those are sick pads.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wade Flaherty.
Attaboy.
Buddy, get some quench hydration in you. That's the dog of the week, boys. Moving on here. We're going to talk a little golf here at Missin Curfew. This time of the year, we had, Augusta moving into PGA Championship in a couple weeks, and we got the U.S. Open at Oakmont. So up, dog, the Comcast Business Top 10, fella.
Fellas, this program is brought to you by Comcast Business, powering the PGA Tour with leading networking and connectivity, advanced fiber solutions, and expert partnerships.
Boys, I'll tell you what, we were talking about the member guest earlier. Shout out to Kenny the Wiz. Kenny the Wiz is kind of a semi-retired caddy now for Big Canyon. He goes around and does yardage books. So he's just at Quail Hall doing yardage books, and he sells them to caddies or sells them to whoever. He said, you got to take Scotty Scheffler heading into last week's tournament. He won by, 10 or 12? So to me, the top two guys on this list, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas at number 3. I just hope that it's a showdown the rest of the summer here, spring into summer. The chase for the FedEx Cup, McIlroy and Scheffler going toe-to-toe. But star-studded leaderboard, good Canadian lad Corey Connors down there in the bottom. Ludwig Odberg, unbelievable swing. But that's the top 10, boys. A chase for the FedEx Cup.
Morikawa. I mean, this is you're talking down in this. We're hitting May, June. We got U.S. Opens coming up, PGA Championships. The Open Championship. A lot of great golf coming up. Exciting to see these two guys leading the way in the FedEx Cup because they have really made themselves the 1-2 kind of go-to guys. The Phil Tiger back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
This is what we want.
Bring it on.
People what they want.
Another great name on there, Maverick McNeely.
I don't know who that is.
He's just kind of busting on the scene this year. He's just busting on the PGA Tour scene. He's in the Comcast top 10, but I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids. Probably not. But if I did have a little boy, Maverick is kind of a good name. That's why I like him. Maverick McNeely. That's just a good name. I'm a Top Gun guy.
Like
right?
Mav? We call Mav.
I like Mav. Probably a good Irishman. Yeah, Mav. Yeah. Maverick McNeely. Get a beer on you, fella. But Russell Henley, and listen, the guy I like on this list a lot actually is this Andrew Novak, who he just won his first golf tournament, the old Zurich Classic in New Orleans. It's the team game, but this guy has been knocking on the door all year. Like the California swing, he was in the mix. The Florida swing, he's kind of a sturdy guy, like a thicker guy too.
Oh, beefier.
Yeah, I like that because you don't see these guys like you just see like guys on tour super skinny, like all of them, or real fat.
Well,
like this guy's kind of
he's a little stick. He's a little stick.
Novak. No, Novak. I'm talking about KC.
Oh yeah.
See, hey, a little fat in the face there, fella. Hey, that's my kind of guy right there.
Tricks on, eh?
That's the guy. That's the guy I could play a little member guest with right there. I think. Look at that. Hey, that's a guy you can cheer for. Kind of a journeyman. He's in the top 10. So thank you to Comcast Business, FedEx top 10 boys. Go full swing of the golf season. Speaking of golf season, it is tee times here at Missin Curfew. Whew, lots of guys looking for tee times, looking for flights. Let's start right at the top. LA Kings. Listen, I watched them play a lot. Obviously, one of the best home teams this year. I thought this was their year. And obviously, Rob Blake. Blakey's looking for Blakey's got some free time now, and I know Blakey means a lot to you, Rich. You're going to get on him, but I thought someone had to answer the bell. I didn't think it was Rob Blake, but this is disappointing for them. For be out again, 4 years in a row. There's different ways you feel after losing out, right? I think these guys, wherever they've been hanging out at Manhattan Beach, they got to be like, fuck again. It's this one really stung at the whole organization, and unfortunately, Blakey took the chop for it.
Well, it felt like kind of, I had them to win the series. It felt like they built a team that could possibly beat them this year. And at least in my head, and I'm sure in Blakey's head, but yeah, it's tough. I mean, Blakey's a good friend, teammate of mine. He's just done a great job bringing a lot of those boys in there, but I'm not sure if he's, was part of he brought the coach in. Coach made a bad decision. Maybe Blakey took the salary grade for that. I don't know. But it's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I don't know what they do now, and I think they have a really good team.
The reason I don't get Blakey, maybe he just had enough, and maybe he did go to bat for Hiller. But I thought Blakey put a good enough team together to beat the Oilers. So now it's on the players and the coaches to deliver. And I thought I thought it was more the coaches and the players on this. So to me, I thought Hiller and DJ Smith were going to get chopped. I thought Blakey put a good hockey team together, man. Well, I really did.
So let me ask you this question, but whose fault is it to not have enough in your pipeline to play more than 4 defensemen, an entire playoff series against some of the best, players? But how do you go into a series and not have, 7 guys ready to rock? Coaches say, our team's going to be 25 players, not just 20 this year. Well, they only played 4 defensemen all around, and it cost them. Not only did it cost them, I think, in the long haul of his 6-game series, but, mistakes just got amplified. A couple overtime goals or a couple long games. And
if there's one thing you could maybe say that Blakey didn't beef up the back end enough, a scout, the Kings organization, I won't mention his name, but I did say to him around the deadline, do you need Spence and Clark? Do you need both of them? Like, to me, they were having a hard time scoring goals this time. I thought you could maybe get a forward, and then maybe that opens up a spot to bring in another couple veteran defensemen that are a little more sandpaper. But to play Edmonton and Doughty the amount of minutes they did, Rich, to me was just
whose fault is that?
You got if Brent Clark can play 79 fucking games for you.
Brent Clark should have played more.
Yeah, Brent Clark, yes.
He should have played more.
Yeah.
They didn't play the fourth line enough either, in my opinion. Trevor Lewis, I would have put him in the lineup and got him to play. Give him plays 9 minutes.
Yeah.
And these guys are playing 4 or 5 minutes. It's not enough. They had Kempe on the back end for half the last game. Like it was like, what was going on there?
To have Alex Turcotte in there instead of Trevor Lewis on your fourth line is, to me, insanity. Trevor Lewis has won a Stanley Cup. No disrespect to Turcotte. I know he's a first rounder and he's probably going to, but
if you're not playing him, put Louis in there that can PK, that has experience.
I would have had Lewis and I would have had Tanner Janot on my fourth line. I know you don't like Janot sometimes because he takes stupid penalties, but I would have, instead of Turcotte and Malott, I would have had fucking Louis.
I think Janot was banged up a little bit.
Yeah. It's a heartbreaker. I will say who I want, Missin Curfew here, Jared Stoll. Why not? Why not the next GM? Right? Why not the next GM of the Los Angeles Kings to be fucking Mr. LA King himself, Jared Stoll? And I know he's hasn't been in that role, but you can put guys around him, and they have a great foundation there with Emerson and Odie and Greener's there, and then obviously you got to hire some veteran guys to bring in. But why not Jared Stoll? Why not?
Couldn't agree more.
Guy understands the game and everything about the game.
And he's all class. He's perfect, knows the game, but
yeah. Fuck, we have all access in there. The Kings, still coming in.
Just the one thing on Blakey, and again, I'm not trying to chirp, but he hasn't won a playoff series since he's been there. He's been there 8-10 years. I never got past the first round.
No, you're right about that. So, but I would say this.
That's the only dig I have at Blakey.
It's called David.
It's called Gary Bettman.
Tough match.
Called Gary Bettman's stupid fucking playoff system. That's what it's called too. I thought Blakey did a hell of a job, though, on a retool. Like, when Todd McLellan was in there, I heard him talking about this is our year. This was probably 4 years ago for them to make the playoffs. I went, whoa, settle down. These guys are the same position as the Ducks. Yeah. And the retool that he did, I just thought was unbelievable. And honestly, the 3 previous years heading in against the Oilers, I thought they had no chance, really. Like, I really did. I was like, they can't beat this team.
I agree.
This year, I thought was their year. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're right. I mean, like you said, the LA Kings spent right up to the cap, spent a lot of money.
All right, go ahead.
It's tough.
It's a tough loss for the whole organization. That was a tough one.
They want results. I mean, that's what it is. It's tough. But
we left there after game 2 thinking this is break out the brooms, and everyone in crypto thought that, and then
4 straight.
4 straight.
It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Stoll.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Come on, Stoll. I throw your hat in the ring there, kid. He'd be a great GM. So, moving on, tea times here. The Minnesota Wild, Billy Guerin and the Minnesota Wild. Listen, they put a scare into me. They put a scare into T-Rex and Todd Pickup and all the Vegas boys. The thing for me is what I saw coming out of their year-end meetings or year-end press conferences is Kirill Kaprizov. His English is getting really, really good, right? He can speak pretty good English, and he said Minnesota's starting to feel like home. So if I'm Billy Guerin, I'm not wasting much time here of getting on the blower with his agent and being like, okay, let's get something done. But I think with Suter and I think Parise both come off the books this year. I think this is a great hockey club story with a great foundation. I love Hartman. I love Marcus Foligno. Listen, I expect this team to be right back there, and they almost knocked off the Vegas Golden Knights. And their back end needs a little bit. I never thought I'd say this. Their back end has almost too much meat and potatoes. It's like we got to get one more puck mover in there. Like, do you need Milton, Merrill, and Bogosian? I don't know. Maybe one more puck mover.
I think that Matt Boldy stepped up and proved himself as a high end player in the NHL. What he did in the Four Nations Cup and what he did in the first couple games really put this team on his back. Are you giving Kirill Kaprizov top money? Is he making more than Draisaitl? Is he maxing out what Draisaitl just
probably will.
I would say
he will be because
maybe even a little bit more, a little bit more to keep him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would just say this, Gustafsson, the goalie, right? That guy doesn't go down if he doesn't get the shits. I mean, he might have been able to keep him in a couple more games. That series was so tight.
It was way tighter than I thought I was going to be.
Tighter, yeah.
Like, they are a different team with Kirill the Thrill and Boldy. Like, they're as good as anyone in the West. You know, they lost to a Vegas Golden Knights team that has championship DNA and depth that Richie just talked about. But
the thing about Mini too is I think they open up like $12 million in cap space from those guys coming off the so they have money to spend this year. So you're talking about the back end. Probably they're gonna have money.
Yeah, exactly.
And how many guys live in Minnesota? There's many guys who
state hockey.
It's not a hard place to say stay home. We'll sign you here, and I think they're going to be really good.
I think Brock Besser, if you want to go rumor mill style, I think Brock Besser might be a Minnesota Wild next year. But their back end to me is
they need something.
They need something. But I love Billy Guerin. I love the Minnesota Wild fans. I loved playing there. So good luck to them in the offseason. I think they'll be right back there and even be a harder out. Moving on to tea times here. The Colorado Avalanche. This one fucking hit hard to home. Kiefer, Johnny Michael Lyles, fellas, keep your head up. I don't know. I mean, Landy coming back was a great story. I thought Chris McFarland did a hell of a job with his moves. I will say this, Brock Nelson, I don't watch any Islanders games at all. The only guy I really like on their team is Barzell. Brock Nelson, I forgot how soft he was. Like, he was just as soft as I remember him when the Islanders were kind of getting to playoff races and they were getting to the Eastern Conference. And I thought Charlie Coyle could have been a little bit better. I thought Jack Drury did a hell of a job. I don't know. There's something missing from this team. I don't have the answer. That's probably why I'm not the GM of their team, but there's definitely something missing here. But the Landeskog coming back is what I'm going to think about the most. So good on that, but they need to figure something out here.
Yeah, the goaltending just didn't step up and then steal games. And then I think Makar wasn't himself and didn't take over games like he really could have. Like, you're expecting that guy, his over-under in points and shots per game are more than most forwards, right? Like, you're expecting him to get 2 points a game, and he wasn't able to really step up and the power play didn't find their game. But let's just be honest. They were up 2-0 in the third fucking period of this Game 7 game with a chance to win on the road and couldn't close it out. So I look at Bednar. Bednar's only won one playoff round since they won the Stanley Cup. Is he in the talks? Is there going to be a shakeup in Colorado? You just mentioned Stan Kroenke. I think this guy shakes things up, and time will tell.
Well, and they expect to win.
Yeah,
for sure.
They put a lot of money in. They made some big moves. They expect to win. So
yeah, you can't blame their front office staff, and I'm not putting anything on Bedsy either. Like, it's a great point by Updog. It was such a tight series, right? Like, that's the worst team they could have drawn into playoffs.
Again,
maybe
why are we doing this format? They shouldn't be playing each other.
No, because you don't want one of these teams out right now.
I want to see Colorado play. I want to see Dallas play.
Right?
I want to see the best teams go as far as you can and watch them.
Call your boss.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Batman on line one here, buddy. You got him in there.
I'll text him right now.
Yeah, pull up your little group texts. You and Updog and Batman, but
The teams are so tight right now. Anyway, did anyone team get really blown out? Like, fuck, all the teams gave everyone a good run. Like,
yeah.
Just Winnipeg and St. Louis.
I'll tell you what. The one thing this Avs team missed was Ross Colton. They really missed Ross Colton.
Yeah.
And as much as Miles Wood at time will take some stupid penalties, to me, they just, when I look at their team right here on paper still and watching them, they're still just, they were soft to me. You know, I don't know. I know Dallas isn't the most big physical team, but they really miss Ross Colton because then you bump Jonathan Durant right out of the lineup probably. So to me, that was a big loss, but tough elimination. They'll be back.
It's tough.
It was a tough matchup, and that's why it's hard to win. So selfishly, I've just wanted to watch them, rolling.
Me too.
Yeah. So last but not least, people let you finish off your St. Louis Blues. What do you expect them moving forward off season this year, fella?
Yeah, we talked about it in in the bad beat there, but I just love what they did. Look, Army, Alex Steen, the whole organization, bringing in Jim Montgomery midway through the season, bringing Broberg, Holloway, Cam Fowler, this team's on the up and up. News out of St. Louis today, Torrey Krug's probably done playing hockey. His foot, he's barely back to living normal life. So we're thinking about him. Hell of a player, hell of a guy. But I think the St. Louis Blues, they're right there. And Jordan Binnington proved again that he is the guy for Team Canada moving forward. I think in the Olympics, you want him in net. Braden Shen's an incredible leader. Like to see a little more out of Jordan Kyrou. I thought he's a little bit
soft.
You talked about
Soft.
Brock Nelson, but
Soft.
when you're making that much money and you're in these moments, like just lay yourself fucking self on the line. You'd still be playing hockey today if you did just probably a little bit more for your team. Yeah, I know you lost and you probably should have won, and then you get another chance to try to score a bunch of goals. Just play fucking hard every night. That's all I ask.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And the kid I love on this team is Jake Neighbors. I love that kid. I would take him on my team.
He battles, doesn't he?
Doesn't he battle?
He's a good player.
Just watch Jake.
Pacheco is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I like him.
I like this old dude too. Sunquist is a great player. Matthew Joseph went in there and played nice. Fasca was a great pickup.
Played good actually for them, didn't he?
Yeah. They were a great story all year. We'll see what happens with Ryan Suter, but Army, he's got something up his sleeve, and that guy is a National League GM. So
It certainly is.
boys, enjoy the year at Benders there. Tea times. We're looking for some tea times to play with the boys. Last but not least here at Missin Curfew, it is the Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week, presented by Kits Eye Care. You've seen us and the fellas rocking them. Now it's time to get yourself in the game. Kits is running a limited time first pair free offer for our Missin Curfew listeners. Use code CURFEW to grab your free pair of prescription glasses or $38 off a pair of progressive glasses. You'll thank us later. Sorry, up dog. I'm going to do it to you again. Kyle, roll it, baby. Ellers, this is the OT. This is sort of tied up 3-3. Broken stick there, but what a dish. Oh, wow. Kyle Connors. Yeah, so my bad there. Ellers over to Connors, and what a tip by Perfetti. But just this look.
Look at that look.
Right? But with 1 second left, you got to give Connors credit for just finding Perfetti in the high slot there. It's our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. It's a great job by Ellers getting it over to him. But this is a great job by Perfetti and
Great ball of Lowry, too.
yeah, that is a great dish. That is our Kits Eyewear Dish of the Week. That's a good dish too.
I don't think he was. Do you think he's passing?
Hell no, he's trying to get on net.
He's trying to get that somewhere.
I think he saw him. I think he had his Kits Eyewear on. Saw him. Yeah, I think
he had it on.
Yeah, I think it was a great job of Perfetti finding high ice. And as an ex-defenseman, it's a hard tip to stop. And I'm going to give Kyle Connor, who's an elite player, benefit of the doubt that he had his kits on, and yeah, he saw a
player.
Now, if it was one of you two guys, I think he'd probably just fucking threw it. Hey. If it was one of you two boys, I would have said he just shoveled it there. But Richie, always a pleasure, buddy. Safe travels home. Updog, thank you. Hall Pass Media, KC, Kyle Conway, Max, Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.